On this 11th day of Vlogmas, what does Sandy Mom have for you? Ach, Eglite, sechs Geister tuggern essen. So how are y'all doing this 11th day of Vlogmas? The end of the weekend seemed to have gone fast for me. I was thinking today, well, what else is new, right? But I was thinking about years gone by. I started thinking, I don't know what made me think about it. Probably I was thinking because I was thinking, I need to order a pair of pants because mine are all too big. Well, I don't have many. I've never had many clothes. I don't know, I just haven't. But I just don't know what size. And so I started thinking about clothes and stores, and I think I asked in one of the other vlogs, are you even allowed to go try things on or what? But what that brought my thinking to was way when I was little, younger, and my mom would go to the store, and she'd be with her friend, and I'd be with my friend. In other words, my mom had me, and my friend's mom had her, and we were friends. If that makes sense. But anyhow, when you went in the dressing room, they would ask, how many clothes do you have to try on? And then you'd count the hangers, whatever you had. Say you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they said, well, you can only take 3 at once. And then they gave you a little, depending on the story, the little ticket that you hang up. It's got a little hole on it that you hang up on the top part of the hook thing in the dressing room, or a little round thing with a number on it. It has the number of how many items you have. And I remember when I would go to the dressing room and I'd think, well, of course, I would have, say if 4 was the limit, I would have 3. And usually I'd have like a shirt with a pair of pants and a shirt with a pair of pants. You like to try it together. So then they'd usually say, it depends where you shop, but they'd say either, well, take the rest and you can come out and switch them out. At some stores, they would say, they'll put it on, if they had a hanger like on the outside, they'd hang it up on the outside of the door and you can switch it out. But be sure you take the 1 outfit or 2 outfits out and put them out before you bring the other 2. Don't bring in more than those 3 outfits. I don't know if it was 3, I'm just using 3 as a number. And what was another? I think there was a third way and I can't remember. I think in one store there was, like in the dressing room, there was a person who was there who would be holding your clothes. And then they would hand it to you, like underneath or over the top of the dressing room door, depending if it's that kind of dressing room or if it's one with a door. Those ones I'd feel like, gosh, they're standing right out there, I gotta hurry up or whatever, I don't know. But then as years went by, I don't remember the last time when I was in a store. But it seems like, I don't know if they were just like, oh well, whatever, take whatever in, or they just got rid of the strict whatever. But I remember going into the dressing room the last time I was in Kohl's, I think. I remember I went into a dressing room and there was nobody there in the door, you know, waiting for you. There was no signs how many clothes you could take. So I went in and I don't know what I was even looking for, searching for, or trying on. I used to go to Kohl's when they used to have great sales. I mean great. The first time I went into Kohl's, I didn't even know what Kohl's was. Our town didn't have Kohl's for, I don't know how many years ago we got it, maybe 15, 10, I don't know. I went in and it almost looked like some kind of big building where they brought a bunch of clothes and they had a garage sale, so to say. Not really a garage sale. We had something here. We have a big building and they used to bring like electronics. I've never went. I just heard about these kind of things. But electronics and I don't know what else because I've never been there. But it just looked like they're kind of sloppy, messy things falling off hangers, things on the floor. So my first time at Kohl's, I didn't have a very good first impression. It just seemed like a bunch of junk. But then I took time to look through what looked to me like just junk, like all just thrown together there. The big sales, 80%, 75, all kind of big numbers. And I thought, geez, this must be a really expensive store to have this kind of sale. And why do they have a sale when they just barely open? So anyhow, I remember I found an area. I got lucky, so to say. And there was an area where it had my size, which is probably small. Back when I was small. Now I like to wear it was a shirt. It was a shirt that you could go out like dancing in. So it was just a sleeveless shirt with a pretty looking neckline, kind of, I want to say roused or whatever the word is, but kind of just different, kind of like that scooped down, but it had extra material. I don't know, it's really pretty, but it was $1.20. And regular it was $45. I'm thinking, $1.20? Can this be right? My gosh. So I thought, wow, I'll take a look. So I think I got 3 of them to try on, and they all fit like a glove, as you would say. So these expensive shirts I got for $1.20. So I spent $3.60, and I had 3 shirts to go out in. It must have been during the time that I went out. So, I don't know, maybe the store was open 20 years ago. I don't know, when did I go out dancing? I don't remember. That's not here or there. But anyhow, and when I'm just talking to you about it, this was not part of the plan of what I was going to talk about, but I started thinking, hey, don't judge a book by its cover. You know, you may meet someone and think at first, oh my gosh. But then if you give them a chance, you may find out, wow. Not always. Definitely, I'm not one to talk about a, oh my gosh, to a wow. It just made me kind of think of that as I was talking about, you know, the shopping thing. But, it's kind of the way with people until you get to know them. If you get a first impression that, you know, may not be the best, give people a chance because you never know. You just never know. But I'm wondering, do you remember the days, or do you still have the days where they hand you a ticket or something that says how many clothes you can bring in? Also, I remembered when we used to go get shoes. As I said, I grew up poor, but my mom always made sure I had good shoes because she said it was very important to have good shoes. I think maybe her father told her that, like my dad told me about changing your oil. Always make sure you change your oil every 3,000 miles. So I went to this shoe store. Don't remember the name, but it had good shoes, not cheap shoes. You know, like Walmart, Kmart, they have cheap shoes. Well, I don't know, over the years, I think they got better shoes. They weren't that cheap. But I did have very sensitive, I guess it would be skin, I can't say really feet. Because if I had a cheap pair from Kmart, it would rub on my heel and then I'd get blisters. So I remember going to the store, and there were a lot of people always there because I guess everyone wanted good shoes for their kids. Then you go in and they measure your shoes on this kind of metal something or other. And they would measure your shoe. Speaking of measuring shoes, I remember once I was a little kid and when we were at the shoe store, and then you had to wait forever. Oh yeah, first you had to sign in, and then they called you, and then they would measure your foot, and on and on. But I remember we were sitting there waiting. Sometimes if you're lucky, you got to sit somewhere and wait. I think there were only like 2 seats or so. I don't remember exactly, but I remember something about sitting. And someone was standing, we were sitting, I don't know if I swear or whatever. Someone was telling their child back in the day, they used to x-ray children's feet. to see what size they wore. I remember hearing that. I do. I don't remember. I mean, I do remember. I didn't ask my mom or nothing. I just thought it was weird. They x-ray your feet? It didn't make sense. So if any of you know, was this ever done? Or was this person just telling a tall tale? But anyhow, back to the shoe thing. So I know I was always narrow. They said I had a narrow foot. But I couldn't stand when they brought out a narrow shoe. It would just feel weird to me. Like, it just felt too tight. So my mom would always say, no, narrow's not good for her. And then they would say, well, according to the metal thing, I don't know what it's called, she wears a narrow. She says, well, if it feels too tight for her, it's too tight. She doesn't wear a narrow. She wears a, I guess it's normal, regular. I don't know what it was called. So I was wondering, did you have shoe stores like that? Did they measure your foot? Do they still have that measuring thing? I mean, nowadays, like I say, I don't even remember the last time I was in a store. I truly don't. But, probably in the last almost 18 years, I don't remember because I've been so busy with Polly and all his health issues. But, we did go to stores. Obviously, I bought my kids' clothes and everything. I just don't really, I didn't take the time to, I'm not very observant anyhow, but, you know, to observe things. So, besides when I said when I went into the Kohl's that time and it was like a big mess, and maybe they had a limit, well, they probably had a limit of clothes so people wouldn't steal them, and also so they wouldn't have millions of clothes in the room. Because one time, did I say this about the clothes? When I went in the dressing room, it was piled, I don't know, 6 deep with clothes galore. And I thought, my gosh, person should be standing by the door, and because that was just unpleasant to be in there with all those clothes all over the place. There was like nowhere to put my clothes because the hanger on the wall was broken. So there's a reason for everything in life, I suppose. But, like I say, it's just hard to remember last time I was in a store. Now, usually, if it was not Walmart, I would usually go to Kohl's or Penny's. Because when they had sales, they had good sales, especially Kohl's. That's how I first, I want to say met Kohl's, first found Kohl's. Like I said, it looked like some big garage sale with some stuffed away stuff, which also was another store I mentioned, and I don't remember if I remember the name of the store. But that other store really looked like a total garage sale. This was a little more, you know, there were racks of clothes and stuff. But I'm glad I didn't turn around and walk out, because I got 3 expensive shirts for $1.20 each. So they had good sales, and I learned to, when they had their sales, and I learned to go when they had the sales, and I had opened a charge card there, and that is only one of very few store charge cards I had. And when they had a sale, and they would send out coupons, I think it was 10, 15, or 10, 20, no, 10, no, I don't know, something like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30% off. I don't even scratch a thing, like you'd scratch off lottery ticket or something. So I would always go when it was 30% and look if I needed anything, or the kids. But if they had a sale, wow, that was a deal. So I don't know, do you remember anything to do with those kind of things, with the clothes or the shoes or whatnot? So I guess even though growing up it was tough, my mom cared about my feet, which is important. Because if you've ever had a pair of shoes that rub on your feet, even socks or no socks, obviously no socks, they'd rub, but even with socks, you know, thin socks in the summer like little girls wear with the little ruffly things on them. I had a few pairs of those. My mom tried to do the best she could for me with the situation at hand. I remember having those socks. I don't know how I remember them, so that must either mean I had a memory early in life, or my mom made me wear those socks when you shouldn't be wearing them. I don't know. Can't ask her. She's not here. But anyhow, I thought I'd share that little story with you. And if you want to comment, if you've went through those experiences, or is it even still there? Do you have stores that have that? Maybe they still have it. Maybe it's just because we don't have those kind of stores. Like I said, we don't even have a mall anymore. I was watching a YouTube video today, I think, yesterday, I don't know, one day. Someone was talking about going to the mall, and they were talking about stores like, well, first they talk Kohl's. I don't think any Kohl's are in malls, but it's Kohl's and Penny's and, what other store did they say? Walmart. They talked a few stores in a mall, and they said the mall, and I thought, wow, they still have a mall, and we don't. And the person was looking for something to wear to go out, which, were you a person who, like, if you had a special event or you went out to, I don't know, if you're a person who always went out, my stomach's growling, I'm sorry if you hear it, would you always buy something new to wear to go out? Because that's what she was doing. She was going to something, and she said she had to find an outfit, and she had to find the special shoes, and she wanted some heels to wear with her jeans. And I think I had mentioned this, but I'm not sure, that when I used to go dancing, someone said, why don't you wear heels with your jeans? I would wear flats. And I thought, oh, that was scandalous to wear heels with your jeans. And here, how many years later, I hear a woman talking about she was looking to wear heels with her jeans. So I guess because I was always home with my kids, I didn't know. Maybe it was a thing. Maybe that's what everyone wore. I don't know. I never looked at other people's feet when I was out dancing. I really looked nowhere. I just looked out into the air, out into wherever. I don't know. I didn't notice people around me. I just knew that was my time, my tiny little short time here and there when I can get out and do something I love. But anyhow, let me know how it is. How is it in the trenches these days? Do they have the little tickets for the clothes? Do they have the metal things that you put your feet in to see what size shoe you wear? Or did they really have x-ray machines to x-ray your feet to figure out what size shoes? I don't think that could have been true. I don't know. The lady was pretty elderly when I was young, so that would have been, it was long, long, long ago. But I don't know. That doesn't sound right to me. And back then I wasn't that inquisitive. Well, I don't think I would be talking to strangers. But anyhow, I don't know if my mom didn't hear it or she just thought it was, oh, what's the phrase? It was right on the tip of my tongue. Anyhow, doesn't matter. So I hope you're having a good holiday season, baking some nice cookies or whatever you do for the holidays, which, you know, it seems to be December's dragging, it seems. But then again, other times it seems like it's coming way too fast. So for us, we will be seeing some snow. We've had the last couple of days snow on the top of my car, on my windshield, and it's so cold that it stays there all day, which I do not like at all. There goes my stomach again. My gosh. My stomach talks its own language, I guess. But anyhow, we're supposed to get some more. They said it's not going to be that bad. I don't know. I don't trust weathermen. But anyhow, just have to wait and see. I'm hoping for a green Christmas. I know. People around here all want the snow with ski people and all, and I don't know. I don't know if I was ever really a snow lover. I guess back in the day when I went skiing, but, you know, ice skating, but now, nah. And I've also seen people have pictures there in New York City, and they showed picture of the tree at the, I think it was Rockefeller Center, and the skating, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be so nice to go skating? Well, I don't know, not nowadays, but, you know, back years ago, the Rockefeller Center, oh, that would be so beautiful. That would be a beautiful Christmas card. The Christmas tree and the skating. So anyhow, hope you're getting everything done without any stress. Don't forget to share our channel. Don't forget to pay it forward. It feels good in your heart, Polly's heart, and my heart. Don't forget to share. Sharing is caring. Be kind to people. Be the reason someone smiles today. And enjoy life. Take it slow. No reason to hurry. Well, I guess we always feel we have to hurry, but don't hurry. The holidays are for enjoying, not for, you know, who gets what and what paper and what bow and what tag, or I don't know. We stopped doing that kind of stuff. We just put the names on the presents. I remember back in my first marriage, we had tags and bows and everything, and then I don't know. Later on in the my disaster fiasco, whatever you want to call it, we just put gifts. We used to have gifts we had for other people we had to buy. Not anymore, but I'm just saying. And I know some people go all out with tags and bows, and we used to have in our malls the people, actually I think it was for a church, our church did it once, they would wrap gifts, and that's how they raised money for the church. And that was long ago, it seems like. I don't remember in years. Well, I don't know, it seems like the normalcy, what is it, going on 3 years that it hasn't been normal around, and then I don't know, before that, when the last time I was at the mall, and especially at Christmas, I try to avoid the malls because there's so many people and all that. But anyhow, always at the outro, I think of something else. So hope you're all doing well. Thanks for stopping by. See you again.